Hey, it's Taz. For those that don't know me, I'm a bariatric patient. I started my journey almost 10 years ago. I started a BMI of over 60, and I've been battling mindset, trying to figure out the best ways to control the thoughts that go on up here, and in so doing, have changed every part of my life. For those that don't know, I recently released my first book, sharing principles that I put into place so that I could change my life, because not only did I change my health, my life, my work, my relationships, I've changed. I was thinking about it today. I've changed even what my goals were, anything that I'm working towards or anything that I'm accomplishing right now were not even goals that were on my list at the time. So today I thought I would talk about finding purpose, and it popped up to me because I was looking through this Oprah journal, and I was just looking through journals because I look for information wherever I can find it, and I was kind of fine-tuning a mantra, because a lot of people in my circle are using mantras that are a lot more specific than mine. So I'm like, I need to get more specific. So I was looking at that, and then I fell upon this thought of purpose. So I'm going to share this quote from Oprah that I think is a great way to start thinking about the idea of purpose. And it's a quote from Oprah: fulfilling your purpose. I believe every one of us is born with a purpose. No matter who you are, what you do, or how far you think you have to go, you have been tapped by a force greater than yourself to step into a supreme moment of destiny. The reason you are here on earth, we are all worthy, and each of us has a contribution to make to the whole of humanity. The real work of our lives is to figure out what that purpose is and get about the business of fulfilling that purpose in our own unique way. And I thought that was kind of interesting, because I feel very hopeful in a different way. I've gone through many struggles in my life, like so many do, and I'm not saying that I've had it easier or harder than anybody else. It's just that the beginning of my life had more struggles. And I feel like I'm entering a stage of life where maybe my purpose will be more forefront, and it won't be struggling to overcome obstacles. There'll be obstacles, but there'll be obstacles in a creative, more fulfilling way than what the past obstacles were that I had to overcome. So I thought about this idea of purpose, and it came to me, I kind of thinking about it too, like goals, because when I think about goals, nothing that I'm working towards right now has ever been on a list. Maybe the book, but not because I put it on the list. It's because my grandmother put it on a list years and years ago. But for me, I'm thinking the things I'm doing, like going live and working outside of the W-2 world, and everything that I'm doing is not anything that I even thought had an opportunity for me. It was just in working on my mindset, which I kind of shared that journey in my book, and looking at life differently that presented different opportunities to me. So I like that quote that I just shared from Oprah about fulfilling our purpose, that we're all here for a reason, and that our job is to heal whatever the things are in our life, and then find our purpose and fulfill that purpose, because that's our gift that we leave behind. That is also part of our legacy. I mean, there will be a legacy for your families and your children, but there's also a personal legacy, a reason that, whether you believe in God, source, universe, but you had a discussion and maybe there was a purpose for why you were coming here. So I think that's really important. And for me, it's really telling that everything I thought isn't really where I'm at right now. So I read some articles about finding purpose, and there was like Harvard and like Inc. They had a couple of different pointers. So I picked up pointers out of there. And it says, how do you go about fulfilling or finding your purpose? And this was really important to me, because I'll share a story. There was a thing called The Program that was offered in Buffalo about 2 years ago in January. And I was supposed to attend it 1 week after I left the W-2 world. And I was all excited about doing this, and we had to fill out questionnaires and get ready. And I remember that one of the questions on the questionnaire is, what's your superpower? And me, the accountant of 30 years, says, accounting, because I don't know, that's what I've always done, so that must be my superpower, because that's what I've always done. When they gave me back the sheet, because they did give it to me, even though I didn't get to go to the event, I got COVID and had to go home. But when they gave me my sheet back, I looked at it and I'm like, this isn't the superpower I listed. And they're like, we didn't agree with the superpower you listed. And I thought, And their superpower for me was that I can make, okay, and this, I'm just going to say it because this is what they told me. You can make every person think like they're the most important person to you, which is a far cry from, I'm an accountant, that's my superpower. I'm an accountant. So I thought that was so funny and so telling that sometimes we don't even see things that other people see. So it says, what do you care about? In thinking about that, I do care deeply and genuinely about people. That's why I tutored. I had a full-time job and I tutored one-on-one sessions with 30 students every single week on top of a full-time job. And I also did one-on-one private sessions for those 30 kids, and I prepared a lesson plan for each one of those 30 kids. So it was a huge undertaking, but because I care about people, that was something that spoke to me, and it was something that I did. I also did children's story hours. I've done a lot of volunteer work. And so I guess without realizing it, I had been engaging and helping people. I just didn't see it as any kind of a superpower because it's just that thing I did to let off steam when I wasn't working in the numbers. So I thought it was just kind of interesting to think about that. For your purpose, what do you care about? Are you doing something in your work life or in your life that is something that you care about or something that you're passionate about? And I see people on, so thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. The second one is what matters most. And I think that's another one. It all kind of starts to go together and you can see it blend together. Because to me, what matters most is that I would like to know that the day I'm called home, they don't have to necessarily know my name, but I would like to know that I left this world better than when I came in. And if you do read my book, shameless plug, if you do read my book, you'll find out that I went through a lot of struggles. For a while, when I went to have bariatric surgery, I went in with the idea that I just wanted 10 years off the bench, never dreaming my life would be where it is right now. And now I always say the Grim Reaper's going to need a hoverboard. He's going to have to be quick because I'm going to be sliding into home base. I want God to give me a high five and say, you may have been a slow starter, but amazing job. That's how I want this to play out. But that's important to me, that making an impact, not neon lights, but making an impact, leaving the world better than when I got here. The next thing it talks about is recognize your strengths and talents. And I already kind of talked about that. I thought I knew what my strengths and talents were, but sometimes it takes stepping back and letting somebody else tell you what they see in you, because we don't always see what we see in ourselves. I identified myself as what my job was. I didn't identify myself as who I was. And I still struggle with that. So I'll ask people opinions. And it is hard sometimes because people don't want to give you opinions. There's a couple of them, like my dad was a really bad one. I can remember he would tell you everything you were supposed to do till you hit 18. And then at 18, he pulled the plug and said, nope, you're on your own and I'm not telling you anything anymore. And I had to sit down with him one day and I said, look, I don't want you to tell me what to do. But what I want you to tell me is, what would you do and why would you do it? And then I'll make the best decision for me. So him and I got to a point where that's kind of how we operate, is if I ask an opinion, I just want his opinion based on his history and his experience, because that's kind of like a mentor. And then I make the best possible decision for me. I'm not asking you to make the decision, but I'm asking you to share something you might see that I don't see in myself, because I have been finding that I don't always see what other people see. So recognizing your strengths and talents. The next one is volunteering. And volunteering, I have done a lot of that. I've done 300-mile bicycle rides for Make-A-Wish, raising money for children who have terminal illnesses. I worked as a core volunteer for the Michigan chapter of the Tears Foundation, which is an organization that helps families who lose children with burial costs and grief support. And I was a core volunteer there for 5 years. And any charity that I can get involved in, where I can, I do, because that feels good to me, and it always has felt good to me. And I like to help a bunch of different ones. I don't tend to I may focus on one for a period of years, but then I kind of move into something else, because I think there are so many areas in this world that we can help, that volunteering is that thing where I can help different people, and I learn different things from different people. The next thing they talk about is imagine your best possible self. And I think this one could be a little bit difficult, because I never saw, as I started this, I just hoped to be off the bench for 10 years. So the best possible self is what I am today and what I'll strive to be tomorrow and every day there following. I am not who I was 10 years ago, and I am more than what I thought I could ever be. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunities to just keep seeing what I can accomplish and who I can help and where I can take this life that used to be on the bench on the sidelines and see what I can make it be, and in doing so, see who I can help along the way. And I take everybody with me. My hand is always out for the person that wants a hand up. I can't pull everybody up, but anybody who wants up, I'll reach that hand out and help them up, because I think that we can all leave this world a little bit better if we just do that one thing for the person that's behind us that we maybe will never see again, but we might change their life in that one moment of time. And the next thing they talk about is cultivate positive emotions. I worked a ton on this one. I use meditations, I use mantras, I use I am affirmations. I've been fine-tuning my I am affirmations I mentioned in the beginning of this to be more specific to what my goals are, because I generally do very general ones. I am happy, I am joyful, I am curious, I am creative, I am courageous. Actually, look at that. Courage to change again. Shameless plug. But I use those. But now I'm trying to get more specific, like I want to be an impactful speaker, an author. I want to help people to identify and recognize the value of the infinite banking process. I want to help people to take back control of their financial future so that they can achieve dreams and leave a legacy behind that makes the generations that follow us have a better opportunity to heal the world, to heal the earth, to heal the things that have gone wrong in this world that we live in right now. So I think that working on those to this day, I still do meditations, I still do I am affirmations, I still do mantras every single day, and I do them all day long. I'll play them in the background. I really had to work on that because I recognized I had a lot of thoughts running through my mind that were on the negative side instead of the positive. So I had to work hard on it, but it changed everything for me when I did it. So if you can work on your thoughts, just try to change them in little ways. If it's hard to say, I am joyful, then maybe I'm learning to be full of joy. I am happy, I'm learning to be happy. I am reaching for the stars, I'm learning to reach for the stars. But it, for me, was probably the single greatest gift that I gave myself, because it was the door that changed everything as I continued to move forward. And the last thing it talks about is look to the people you admire. And I'll say mentors, coaches, friends. They say, I think it's Jim Rohn, that you become the least of the 5 people you surround yourself with. I have surrounded myself with people who have pushed me to next steps that like I said, I'm not living the life that was my dreams. I'm living well past what I ever thought was something that I would go for. I was looking for 10 years off the bench. Now I'm looking for unlimited opportunities to help people and sliding into home with a high five and God saying, nice job. Very different than what it was 10 years ago. And that's my hope and my desire, my goal for you too. So I really thought that that was important, and it kind of made me think about, like, again, purpose. What do you care about? What matters most? Recognize your strengths and talents. Volunteer. Imagine your best possible self. Cultivate positive emotions. Look for people that you admire. Look at these opportunities and see what starts to fall out, because you might find, like I found out, it's not even on the path that I thought. Part of one thing that I always hold as a visual in my mind is Jay Shetty once said that people always ask him, what door do you walk through? Like if you're standing in a field and there's hundreds of doors, what door do you walk through? And he said something that has kind of stuck with me, and I still continue to hold on to this day. And he said, you walk through every one of them. Whatever door comes in front of you, you walk into it. If there's one little piece of a maybe let's just say a spice, and you pick it up, say you were baking something at the end, you pick up that spice in that door. If you're not meant to be in that door, you'll be led somewhere else. But just keep going through every door and picking up whatever little piece is in there and keep heading down the path. So it's like, take that shot, readjust, keep taking, and you'll end up where you're supposed to be. And I always thought that was a great quote, because I kept thinking that you had to take the absolute. I kept expecting a perfect path, not recognizing that you can't create a perfect path. You just have to keep forward motion. And when you keep forward motion, you'll end up someplace beautiful. But I thought that was interesting, because I'll tell you, if it wasn't for these changes, I wouldn't have my book. I wouldn't be contemplating the changes I have, and I'd still be in the W-2 world probably right now at my desk crying, because we wouldn't have audited financials done until June 1st, because in my old world in the insurance industry as an accountant, we did regulatory filings by March 1st, and then we were under audit until June 1st. So it just seemed like a half a year of tearing yourself apart. And I myself just came back from, within the past month, 2 trips to further myself business-wise, but a whole different kind of life than what I was living before. And that would be my hope for all of you, is to find a whole different life. So stay tuned as I continue to grow and to figure out how to share this. The events that I've been to in the past month were related to the infinite banking process, which is the specially designed whole life policies where they're written with a high cash value. The commission is reduced on this team anyways. Anybody can write these policies, but this team writes them in such a way that they take a reduced commission, a high cash value. They're specially designed to help families create financial opportunities that are not available if they're giving their money always 100% to banks. It's just a different opportunity for financing your future life in a way that gives you control over that financial life. So I hope you'll stick with me, and I hope you'll reach out to me and DM me if I can help you down that path, because I myself have 3 policies, and I started this journey 5 years ago. And again, I never expected to be changing over to this side of it. But what happened as an insurance accountant of 30 years, I thought this had to be a scam, and I came at it with the full intent of proving it a scam. And when I realized it wasn't a scam, I started getting involved. And after 3 policies and being around this campfire, I realized that I wanted to help other people overcome this obstacle, that even in an industry where I prepared the financial statements, I analyzed them, I filed them with the regulatory boards, I didn't know it existed. And I'm not unique. A lot of people that are around don't know this exists, and I would love to see it help more people. So I hope you'll stay tuned, and if you want to learn more about that, please reach out to me, because I'd be happy to connect you with a 90-minute video, and I'd always be happy to give you a link tree for some live trainings that are free, and any way to help you to move forward so that you can take back financial control. I found it to be life-changing, and I know it can be life-changing for those that are open to learning a different way. So I'm going to end this with another Oprah quote, but it's about integrity. And she says, "Of all the values I hold dear, integrity is everything to me." And integrity is very important to me too. "I always thought it meant doing the right thing no matter what. But recently, my friend Martha Beck deepened my understanding of what integrity really means. It's about alignment. In order to find the truest expression of ourselves, we must be in alignment with the truth." And somebody pointed this out to me even in the past few days. My thoughts sometimes go astray, and they go down a path that isn't supporting me. So I need to make sure I try to work harder at keeping my thoughts in alignment so that I'm moving in the direction that I truly want, not pulling myself backwards unknowingly. So in order to find that, it's about alignment. In order to find the truest expression of ourselves, we must be in alignment with the truth. Everyday things you do, telling little white lies, gossiping, not standing up for yourself, knock you off balance. When you are out of alignment, your goals become more difficult to reach. The beauty of living with integrity means that life becomes simple. We never have to spend time or energy questioning ourselves because our beliefs and actions work in perfect harmony. In the coming weeks, take a moment to think about how you can live in alignment and better embody your highest integrity. And that's my hope, desire, and dream for you, that you get in alignment with your heart and your mind, find what your purpose is, and to move in that direction. I am living a life that was not even in my dreams. I am doing things that I never really thought were opportunities for me. And I want to see that same opportunity for everybody. I believe there's as many opportunities for everybody out there. It's not limited. It's unlimited. The only thing that blocks us is the thoughts that we have. And I am so much better at that than I've ever been, but it is always something that can be worked on. So I just wanted to share this with you all. Thank you for being here. We'll talk again tomorrow. And I appreciate you. And for those who are still curious, I love and appreciate everyone. If you have an opportunity to pick up my book, I would be grateful. And then if you would leave me a review on Amazon, I would appreciate that too. One of my friends who's a teacher reached out to, we talked today, and she said this was an easy read, but it's already started to change her life, and that she was writing a review. And I thought, I'm getting very excited because some of the things that people say, it makes me feel good, because I did put myself out there, and this is my first time out of the gate, and I've had such amazing, beautiful feedback. So I want to thank you all for your support. It means the world to me, and I hope that I can reach and help a lot of people in the time that I have left here on this earth. Thank you. Have a beautiful night, and we'll talk soon.